Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with today's load prompt, and I'm also doing the Kraft Plus tic-tac-toe, and I'm taking this row, or column rather, that calls for paint, stencils, and ribbon. So we'll see what's going on here. I found in my Scrap Backwards kit this ribbon. Where did I put it? It's from Summer's End, the Fancy Pants collection that I started my kit with these rub-ons. And I have lots of papers and some trim and things like that in my kit, but I'm gonna use some of the more unusual embellishments. I think this is a piece of ephemera from that. I don't think that's fussy cut. There is this coffee filter that came from that collection, and of course this ribbon. And the load prompt today is about what advice your mother gave you, or that you have you given to your children, or something about advice based on the everything's based on Motown. It's based on the Supreme song "You Can't Hurry Love," which was some maternal advice being they were singing about in that song. And we're to use buttons either from our mothers or from ourselves. And I've got a box of buttons here that some of them are embellishments from scrapbooking collections. Others are taken from clothes. And I don't think any of these are associated with my mother, but there are some that are the vintage that they might have been. So I'll kind of pull some that match color-wise, and then we'll go from there without worrying too much about where they came from. This ribbon happened to have, I happened to see, well, first of all, I decided that I would use this photo of Ava, and a long time ago, before I saw this prompt, I was going to use this Go Wild title from Bramble Fox. And after I kind of got thinking about the page, I decided I would have these silly monkeys. And then I found this for the monkey to hang from. So that's kind of where my design started. I have a couple of the rub-ons in leaves, and then I have a Bramble Fox stencil that has leaves that I'm gonna use Distress Oxide to kind of brush those around. And I guess what I keep wanting to say about the ribbon is the ribbon has love more, count your blessings, live life to the fullest, gratitude and grace, which seems like it might be an appropriate strip to go down at the bottom of this and go wild. My mother didn't so much give advice as she made declarations and issued commands, but and we listened. But one thing that she she kind of, advised us, if you will, was when she wanted us to, after breakfast, when it was, especially, of course, in the summertime when we weren't in school, she'd tell us to go outside and go wild. She wanted us to burn off as much energy as possible so we'd be ready for an afternoon nap after lunch. And so I kind of thought,
I found this on the web.
okay, Siri is heard me say
Here's what I
nap.
found.
Siri, shut up. Siri heard me say a nap after lunch, and somehow she decided she ought to look that up on the web. Anyway, this is kind of based on her telling us to go wild and burn off all that energy. That's kind of the tie-in here, and then there are all these other bits of advice that that one might have heard. Okay, so I'm going to start with painting through a stencil. And when you paint through a stencil, it doesn't give you the perfect image that you might get if you were to do like scrape texture paste or use something that scrapes at the surface like that. Anytime you press things through the holes in the stencil, you run the risk of it kind of getting messy. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive there because I don't want it to throw through. So and I thought that might be appropriate for this. So I'm actually going to do a few stenciled circle-y things with a paintbrush. Where did I? And I put my paintbrush over here, just kind of left it, put it down, and it picked up a stencil, a sequin. I'm just going to kind of do this, and it's going to look, my hope is that it looks kind of messy and like a kid might make at play. And incomplete because I'm not making sure every bit of it is. Okay, that's perfect. And I'm going to do something similar right in here at a little bit different angle. And this blue, I think, is somewhat matched. It's maybe a little stronger color. I could have perfectly matched it by mixing in some white. It's Liquitex Acrylic Basics, the kind of paint that I use for gel printing. See, there's that sequin that it picked up. Okay, I'm going to put this off to the side, hopefully out of reach of any sequins. I'm going to pull up the sequin, and then I'm going to go put that over there. And hopefully I will get to it before it messes up. So now I'm going to do things in other areas of the page so that that can dry. And here I think I'm just going to use, well, it's not leaving any adhesive behind. So that's not how I'm going to do that. Let me just use a piece of foam tape. We'll see how that works. What I need is just something that'll cause it to go flat because it's been wrapped around that card. Of course, I didn't cut it long enough. And I hope you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to move that up a bit and then do this right down here. Okay, so it's okay with me if it's a little bit fringed on the ends. In fact, I'm going to kind of tease it and pull some of these threads to get that happening. And I'll go back and do it to this side too. Okay, it's kind of I'm going for something of a casual look. Needless to say, when you've got monkeys hanging from trees, it's not formal. Okay. I'm going to try to get that centered and parallel. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And I can tuck that in and have it kind of coming out maybe. We'll see. Now, I'm going to go up here. I have put some, I want to place this so that I know where to put the falling leaves. And we will try, I'm going to make an attempt to do rub-ons on this dotted paper that has a raised, some raised dots. So we'll see. This came in a Mind the Scrap kit. Mind the Scrap kits always contain a sheet of black cardstock, a sheet of white cardstock, and a sheet of colored cardstock that kind of coordinates with some of the pattern papers. Okay, so before I start putting monkeys on, I want to brush on some leaves, and then I'll do the, I'll do these guys first, because they're the most, they're the ones I have concerns about. Let's see, where is my rub-on? I think it's under here. It is. Okay. This is not separating. I can't take the backing off. This is annoying. I've never had that problem before. And of course it happens while I'm going to put that one there. And wish me luck. Hopefully it gets complete coverage and sticks everywhere and just has maybe a dotty, at worst it might have a dotty look itself, a dotty looking finish. What I don't want is for it to stick to the dots and then not stick to the flat area below. It's perfect. Okay, so I'm encouraged. And I'm going to get trash off the desk, and hopefully this one separates easier. Yep, good. And I'm going to maybe bring this one. I might put it right here. The reason I want to bring it down here is because it would be too close to this blue, which is clearly not a match. Hopefully that will somewhat it's drying darker, which I should have known it would. And so the contrast is going to be even greater than I thought. But it's kind of in the same family. So it might not be too bad. Okay. Now I'm going to use this stencil and do an orange leaf, maybe right here. And I'm using carved pumpkin, which seems appropriate to the season. There. And then I'll do another one, a different type of leaf, maybe. Right here. Okay. And then I'm going to use the same stencil, but I'm going to use Vintage Photo to make some brown, and I'm going to use a different applicator. And let's see. What I want to do is something like kind of right there beside that, but it's going to stick to the blue, so I'll just have to live with that. Okay, and then I'm going to do this one. Like that. Okay, so I've got my falling leaves, and I'm going to superimpose the monkeys on top. I intentionally put some of those leaves where I thought the monkeys would be. So we'll see how that works out. Let me put these things off to the side and get them off the table. And then I have to remember to add buttons before we're done. Okay, so still not going to work down here. I'm going to have the hanging monkey right there. And I'm going to put him up on a little piece of foam because the tree is on foam. And I have to take the backing off, which is pretty easy on the, it's not as easy to take the backing off on the shiny ones. Oh, look, there's little tiny bits of the blue out here that got picked up on the stencil. That's okay. It's mixed media, right? Mixed media is a synonym for messy. And I've got these bananas that he's holding. Let's see. I think I want the bananas to go this way. And I will put them on, I have to take the backing off those too. And these are shiny, so they'll contrast with the finish on Oops, this is the right side, though, for those. He can be holding them like that, can't he? Let me see if there's a set that goes the other way. That's the same orientation. This is the set that they came in. There's some really cute leaves here, but I have in mind another use for those, so I'm not going to use them on this page. Let's see. I don't have to use them. See, the flat side has a little indentation there, and it has some etching up by the stem. But if I put them this way, they still look cute, is my point, I think. And they'd be facing the right way, and I wouldn't be worried about it. Okay, and I messed up by having too much glue on there, so I have to kind of peel it up. As I have mentioned before, this glue dries clear and matte, but when I worry a little bit when it's on a textured paper like that. So now let's see. While that's drying still, I'm going to pull the backing off this blue heart. I think the other blue heart has no backing. I must have pulled the backing for a different project and then not used it. I have a little tub of Bramble Fox hearts that I keep close by. And so I'll just put those there. I'm not ready to put those on yet. Okay, I may be ready to put the photo on, kind of like that. And then I pictured the title being here, and I kind of don't mind that the blue is underneath it. And then I'll put the little monkey there. Okay, let's do this. We'll commit. Okay, I'll press it down and the paint will help hold it too. Let's see. That's kind of cute. And I'll put this guy up on foam. I'll remove the backing again. Prep I should have done before starting filming. And Helen, I'm sure, is having a laugh about how much brown I'm using on this page. And I will have to tell you, Helen, I'm actually in fall when scrapping with fall supplies. I actually like brown, but shh, don't tell my friends. Okay. Let's see. I've got a couple of baby squirrels that, and since Ava used to be called Baby Squirrel right around the time this photo was taken, I'm gonna use them. How about, I was thinking, since happiness in family isn't advice per se, I thought I might overlay it with this life is so good, but I can't cover the whole thing. I'm going to do it anyway. And we'll see if it works. If I need to, I can put a button by it. How about we pick a button and we put the button there, or put this here, let's say. And the button here, and the squirrel here, here. We could also use a flare, kind of scooched right down in there, and the squirrel off to the side. Let's push this up a bit. There, and then the button here, and the squirrel here. That might work. And this button, I know, is one that came from some clothing. So it's a real button. Let me put a little bit of foam on the back of the squirrel. That may be too much. Nope, it doesn't show. And because that foam tape may not stick well to the fabric, I'll do that. And then I have this flare. Oh, maybe I can put it in the middle of that. That's kind of cute. And you get licensed to do cute things when you have a cute photo like that. I think. Okay, and I've got this flare, which could go here, or maybe up in here. I kind of want to leave that as it is. And I like this there. And I think the hearts, the blue hearts, would look nice on that. Okay, we're almost done. And I'm going to do some journaling, probably around the sky. Just after the paint fully dries. I don't want to get that all over my hands. So let me put this here. So I'm kind of, by adding these blue hearts, I'm introducing several different blues to the composition, and that kind of helps explain that we have that vivid turquoise there. And I'm going to add a couple more buttons. I've got this little kind of beige button that came from a shirt, I'm sure. I've got an orange button. And let me see if I can find, ooh, here's a small turquoise. That's kind of the same color as that. So that kind of helps. This, I remember so well what that came from. That is a special memory. There is a glittery flower-shaped button that I just saw. That works nicely. I'm going to put it over here. And I want something for there. What do I want? Maybe a kind of paler orange. There we go. I'm happy. I think I do see another button that I really like. It's metallic, and it might be pretty just right down here. Okay. Silly. It's sometimes fun to be silly on layouts. And one of my fondest memories of my mother is how much she encouraged play. And I'm thinking maybe we don't do that so much nowadays because I guess screens and maybe we lived in a neighborhood where virtually every house on the block, or for blocks around in the entire neighborhood, had kids of varying ages, and so there were usually some your age, and even in the afternoon after school, after homework, while dinner was being made, we, had pick-up baseball games. And like I said, I'll wait till that dries and I'll do the journaling, but there will be some on there when you see it posted. So anyway, we did, we played and just, burned off a lot of energy. And the only television we had once we got one was in my parents' bedroom. And so we had permission to go in there for, maybe a half-hour show and it was whatever they were watching. We didn't, so things were things were different in the good old days. I just realized that is not a pale orange. That's actually a pink. That I'm okay with that. And I love that this orange flare has hearts. So thank you for watching. I'm enjoying the tic-tac-toe board for sure. Let's see. Paint, I've got paint. And stencils, I used 2 of them. And ribbon, I've got a nice little strip of ribbon down here. So go wild being the best advice any parent could give a kid when they want to tire them out to take a nap or get a good night's sleep. So anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Thank you for watching. Bye.